All right, we are on part 2 of this engine. So we got the new front main on order. We got one from Mal, and it does have the wear sleeve. So we got the correct one on order because we have one over there from I think Napa, and I told him we're not going to recommend using that. But one was $12, one was $25. So the Mal is definitely a better unit. So today we're going to finish the teardown on this bad boy. All I got to do is get the alternator, the tensioner, the motor mount, the trans cooler. I'm just going to unbolt from the back piece, and then we got to pull the adapter plate, all of that off. So what we're going to do is we're going to start moving the wire harness from over there to over to this unit, bolts up the new AC compressor, all the other stuff, the alternator, just get this thing 99%. I think I'd like to have this thing pretty much all good today, minus we will get the front seal. That is coming on Wednesday. So I'd like to get everything as buttoned up and together as I possibly can, replace the motor mounts, this and that, and we shall go from there. I might end up, well, yeah, we have the vacuum pump over here, so probably just going to throw that back in as is. We will see what all that he has for me. A lot of times I will recommend rebuilding some of that stuff, but at the end of the day, it's not really that big of a deal either way. And then we'll throw a new gasket back there and call her good. Main goal is to get rid of all the oil leaks. This stuff worked before, so the engine ran good before. We're just regasketing it before throwing it back in that truck. All right, I haven't filmed in quite a minute. It's been a couple hours. So we got this side of the engine pretty much done. I just got that little bracket on back there, back behind. You can see right there. We got all the lines on. We got the ECU. Turns out you don't need to pull all this stuff to put that ECU in there. I didn't touch any of the lines or any other bullshit on that. But everything done over here, minus we're going to use the motor mount from that motor because this one actually works, whereas the other one's kind of seized. I just got to check and see what the orientation is because I completely forgot. I'm pretty sure it goes in that way. But there you go. PCM, I did have to change this sensor and the oil pressure sensor down there. Pretty sure that's like an intake air temperature sensor, but they were different. But everything else on this side, we got everything pretty much lined up where it needs to go, minus that harness right there. Just need to put that. I set the nut somewhere, I think right here. So I will tighten that down. Just ripped a glove. But she is coming together. We are going to reuse this harness from the starter because the other side is worse than this one. So we also have this wire here and then this wire over here that goes to the truck itself. So next step, we're going to do the turbo, get that fucker slapped on, and then once we do the turbo and that thing, once I pulled the lines off, that thing just drained whatever was left on the floor. Kind of pissed me off a little bit, but it is what it is. We used that AC compressor. I had to reuse the alternator because this one actually spins freely, even though it's ugly. And I had to reuse the tensioner because the tensioner on that one, the little plastic piece decided to pop off, and the alternator did not spin freely from this motor. So that's what sucks. Before we put the turbo on though, I think I'm going to grab these coolant lines because those look in a lot better shape than these do. These are all like brown and crusty and just all sorts of ugly and whatnot. So swap them over as well. That line's broken, and then we'll leave the rest of whatever we have. And then once we get this thing to a car wash, that's when we'll start fucking around with some of the other stuff, but I'll make sure that stays out. I know where that goes to the truck. That goes to the firewall, or not the firewall, the fender right there, that little tab. So she's coming together. I got a new gasket for the drain here, so we're not going to reuse that. Lessons learned in the past, and also the other day with mine, but she's coming. Well, I think it's safe to say we found the problem cylinder. Look at all that. That shit's crystallized in there. Let's go check this engine out. Oh yeah. That's what it should look like, kinda, sorta. And that's what that one looks like. Yeah, it's pretty bad. That one's black. That one's a little white. Oh yeah. Trying to see the valves. Oh yeah. Well, found the problem cylinder. So when they go to tear this motor down, because they get bored, I'm gonna try to get this manifold cleaned out, because this is the one we're gonna end up using. But man, you guys see the restriction on them things. Jeez. That's crazy. I mean, I guess it comes out and through, out and through. It's for an aftermarket manifold. I was thinking about buying one of these manifolds to do the second gen swap, but after seeing how little is in there, I don't know. I'm definitely going to clean that out, though, as best as possible. I might actually have to take it somewhere. I would like to get this manifold on tonight, but let's start chipping away, and we're going to check it for flatness as well. If it's not flat, I'm going to drop it off at the machine shop and have them flatten it out. This one's not warped, but you can see I definitely don't like that. So I will, if it's a problem, I will advise said customer. But let's start, yeah, some of that stuff looks like it can come out of there and break free, and that's what I'm concerned about. So we're just kind of doing the hammer and chisel method, and it's all coming out, so that's a good sign. You can see all the crud in there. We're going to get this manifold cleaned out pretty good. It looks like it was just number 4, and there is a little bit of trace on some of the other ones, so we're going to try to get these back 3 cylinders cleaned out as good as possible. Alright, so it was actually peeling off pretty good. Like, I'll actually show you guys here. It was peeling off in pretty good chunks. Like, all of that, like it was coming off in pieces. So we're slowly getting her cleaned out. So I need to get all of that stuff broken up, and then... Alright, so we have a few options here. So the manifold's done. I did check it for flatness, and believe it or not, it was flat. I couldn't get a 10 thou in between when I was running along it, so that's pretty good. The thing is, I went to put the manifold on, and I completely forgot about this guy. Now, this is broken off deep enough that I personally do not feel comfortable trying to tackle this. So we had a few options. I'm going to send a message to the customer, figure out what he wants to do. We have the option of taking it to the machine shop and having them do it. It'll take a little bit longer. Or I could always have him come out here and send it with his welder. But at the same time, it's one of those, like, it's a deep... If it was out a little bit more, I'd want to do it, but I don't want to risk screwing anything up or making it harder on the machine shop if we have to. And drilling out those studs, I have done them before, and they are an absolute motherfucker. So I think what we're going to do at this point is probably start pulling off the back half of the motor. Like I said, we're going to use the HY35, I think it was, and this manifold. And for you guys wondering why I don't upgrade anything, customer unit. Mind you, this manifold right here, I was going to buy myself and go through, you know, and do a second gen swap with mine, but I didn't realize how small that opening was, and I would rather just go get an aftermarket manifold, to be honest, because we are going to do the HE351VE, but I think at this point, we're pretty much where we can get tonight before putting the turbo on, because I'd like to get the turbo on and probably just pull the rest of the back half off. But if I do that, I got to pull this if I were to transport it. So I might just wait. All right, so no time lapses this video, but we got everything done, valve adjustment done. I'm just going to wait until today-ish to figure out what we're doing with this bolt right here, whether or not we're taking it to the machine shop or he's going to have a go at it. Just got to tighten up the alternator, front main seal, and motor mounts, and then she's pretty much good to go. So turbo and front main, and then she's ready to slap in well, we got to do the oil pan yet. But besides that, she's getting pretty close. Been slowly getting through this thing. So just glad that wire harness is done, because that's one of the main things. It's like, it's not a huge harness, so that's kind of nice, but it's still one of those, like, it's nice to have it all done and correct. And I did notice he does have a fuel filter for me, so we're going to be swapping the fuel filter out. I did clean off all of the oil galleys and threw the filter on just as a temporary. I'm going to want to put some oil around the top, and then I threw this here just to block that off. So no, we're not pre-filling that filter either. And then, yeah, we'll throw a new gasket on there. Probably throw something in there in the meantime to keep the galleys clean, but this motor is definitely in a lot better condition than that one. It would be neat to be able to tear this thing down. Let me know if you guys are interested in that, because I think he's going to take it and has a buddy that's going to be tearing that down. But that type of stuff should not be coming out of the engine. So probably piston, if I had to guess. Aluminum pistons, but it is what it is. I'm gonna pretty much call it at this one. I am filthy as shit, but we did get a lot done tonight. And then I should be back sometime tomorrow. If he does say to drop it off at the machine shop, I'll just bring the Dakota back, and then we'll just load it up in the back and throw it up in there. And I get like the marks underneath my nose and shit, because like, you don't ever have a nose itch until you start working. The second you start working, your nose and your eyes are gonna itch. It's just one of those things. I don't know why, but that's a thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I think this is a shorter video, no time lapses, none of that. Next video should be us finishing up and attempting to stab the motor in. So appreciate you guys. But I'm gonna plug these real quick. If you guys wanna get a set of these GM style mirrors, I do have a link in the description. Boost Auto also sells the 4th gen style mirrors. I got the ones with the switchbacks, so they also sell them with sequential switchbacks, so I can hit my 4 ways. And look at that, super bright, super safe. This is nice when someone's halfway down your trailer and they can't see your turn signal. That right there is the reverse feature on the mirrors. Before, after.